You've lost weight but somehow you don't feel happy about it because you were expecting things very differently. You were expecting कि काफी लोग आपके बारे में appreciate करेंगे, तालियां बजाएंगे, खूब सारे fireworks होंगे, बहुत ही happy moment होगा, and जो आपके fat loss में आपको attention मिली है वो आपको throughout मिलेगी. And this is where the dopamine deficit comes into place. If you're a person who's about to reach your goals or you've lost fat, this is exclusively for you, and this is also for beginners to prepare. Once they're done with their fat loss, they may have this crash, which is dopamine crash, and they may realize that they're not able to progress much more. Stay tuned till the end to know more. Hi, welcome back. I'm Rahul Kamra, founder of Ketorets. After transforming myself and 1,000 plus people, which has recently surpassed 1,200 plus people, I am fortunate enough to tell you that there is dopamine deficit waiting for you once you're done with your fat loss. And this I'll be decoding in this video. Don't forget to pause the video, subscribe to the channel. Ketorets India का एक अकेला YouTube channel है जहाँ पे ketogenic diet, fat loss psychology, everything is covered only on this channel. So let's jump into the video. We'll be dividing this video into chapters. नीचे बार पे आराम से chapters आप फिर से navigate कर सकते हो, फिर से देख सकते हो. We'll move to chapter number 1, understanding dopamine. Dopamine is your motivation molecule. But the trick here is dopamine destination पे जाके नहीं मिलता, destination से पहले मिलता है. छोटा सा example देता हूँ. I want to travel next week and I'm traveling to Northeast. I'm really excited before I go there. वहाँ जाके हो सकता है मेरी excitement इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं होगी, but उसके preparation में I'm very excited. Similarly, when you're in your fat loss journey, you'll be very excited to lose those number of kgs, number of inches. People are going to appreciate you throughout the process, and that is going to give you a lot of dopamine because you will realize yourself to be at your best shape. But once you reach there, the dopamine release eventually dies down, and this is where you need to understand the dopamine effect, that it is always with the chase, not with the catch. A 2016 study by Nature Neuroscience found that dopamine is actually more active in the anticipatory phase rather than just in the rewarding phase. So we move to the main problem here, which is chapter number 2, the fat loss dopamine crash. When you finally lose weight, your why disappears because you wanted to lose weight because of a reason. Compliments बंद हो जाते हैं. People stop appreciating you. They don't see much more changes. You don't see major changes in your body, and you're pretty much done with the entire fat loss journey. You start accepting your new identity. You start feeling that this is new normal and this is new me. You stop looking forward, and your brain eventually chooses not to look forward because you have moved enough. So some people call it a silent plateau, some people call it a motivation burnout, and I personally call this dopamine deficit disorder of a fit mind. This also happens to quite a lot of people, those who are done with their fat loss. So practically, this is where the deficit starts happening. When you start losing your why, you start accepting your new identity as your normal, you forget your older self, and the brain is not looking much more forward. We'll move to chapter number 3, how Ketorets method handles this. How do I handle this, which will give you more insights about it. So practically what I've done at Ketorets is, which I want you to do in your diet also. कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि आप Ketorets के साथ में Ketorets member बने, आप साथ में मेरे काम करें, आप मेरे साथ में diet की advice लें, लेकिन मैंने बहुत simple सी चीज करी है. In 2023, I came up with a methodology which is called as Ketorets method, which has 4 phases. Vital shift is get into keto. Cruise control is lose your fat till you reach your ideal weight. Metabolic revival phase is getting out of keto, moving to a low carb diet. And energy rebalance is to maintain your diet all by yourself by moving to a low carb cycling diet. When I gamified this entire process, at the end of 4 phases, people would get to an independent stage where they can manage their own routine, not forget their whys, have a framework, and know what to do next. You need to make a game plan. If you start making this game plan, आपको डोपामिन डेफिसिट नहीं होगा, क्योंकि आप अपने आप को फिर से चैलेंज कर रहे हो कि अब यार मैंने ना वेट अपना गेन नहीं करना, अब मैंने अपने बॉडी मेजरमेंट्स गेन नहीं करने. नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू रीच माय बेस्ट शेप एंड मेंटेन इट, एंड आई विल नॉट हैव फैट लॉस प्रॉब्लम्स. आई एम गोइंग टू क्लोज दिस चैप्टर वंस एंड फॉर ऑल. दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू एम एट. नंबर 1 is set new non-scale goals. You may try for 10k steps. You may try for better weightlifting. You may try for something new altogether. You may want to pick up a sport. You may want to start swimming. You may want to start going out much more. You may want to keep yourself more involved into any kind of physical activity. Remember one thing, novelty is the game for you to keep your dopamine high. So if you're a person who's done with your fat loss, set new non-scale goals. Point number 2, cycle dopamine fast. Do a non-reward day where you do not check your scales, no sweet dish, no keto desserts, nothing. You're just simply fasting and not letting your body release dopamine. You don't try deliberate things to release more dopamine. Even you need to cut out coffee on this day. No caffeine as well, because that also releases dopamine. Third, eat to stabilize, not just to lose weight. On keto, eat more fats. On low carb diet, keep adequate fats. Keep B spectrum vitamins in your overall routine. Try to also supplement them. Take your overall supplementation routine very seriously. Take your food very seriously. Have some diversity. Do not focus on fat loss on specific days. On specific days, just eat to stay much more healthier. This helps you with dopamine production. Also, this helps you to not to release dopamine unnecessarily, but this keeps your dopamine production in check. Number 4 is build community. Try to motivate people around you to stay much more healthy. When you teach people, when you try to educate them, when you teach them basics, don't get into deep nutrition. You don't want to start with nutritional debates. When you teach them basics, even if it is somebody who's your house help, even if it is somebody who's your partner, even if it is somebody who's your family, when you teach, you release more dopamine. Over a period of time, you start feeling the sense of leadership. The sense of leadership is what brings you to a point where you have dopamine. Talk about good healthy habits so that you can release dopamine and you can act like a leader. Number 5, have a purpose beyond looks. Help yourself or help anybody. Start a hobby. If you're a person who's been struggling to lose fat, you've lost fat, now your fat loss is done. Start a new hobby which is in relation to fitness, which is in relation to any kind of physical activity, which could be even as simple as cooking, which could be as simple as going for more walks, starting and preparing for a marathon, starting with new sports or picking up a new sport, subscribing to another coaching service where you try to learn something new. This will help you to develop your more hobbies, and this will help you to look at fat loss not from just looks, from the other way around, where you also pick up new habits and you get new skills. Upscaling yourself in 2025 is the biggest game changer, specifically for people who want to lose fat. Most people regain fat not because they are eating more, because they have emotional emptiness. They have emotional void. They don't know what to do next. They don't have a new vision. They don't know what next they want to achieve out of their own fitness journey. So to sum it up, losing fat is science, but keeping it off is psychology. And if you learn much more about dopamine, you will not just lose fat, you'll be able to stick to your fitness routine for the rest of life. This is the mantra, this is the key for anybody who has maintained their weight after they have lost or who have tried to stick to their fitness routine for the longest of times. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to share this with your friends. Subscribe to the channel pressing the bell icon. If you want to learn more about foods which can put you out of keto, even onions can put you out of keto, check out this video. You learn about 7 foods which can put you out of ketosis or which are very dangerous on keto. If you want to learn how salt was the enemy before, but it is very very critical if you are adapting to keto. अगर आप एक low carb ketogenic diet कोई भी fat loss journey पे है, salt intake आपके लिए important है. Check out this video. You learn about salt paradox. This is Rahul Kamra. I'll see you next week. Signing off.